Agent Power Huddle is a daily jumpstart, giving you all the tools you need to create an amazing real estate career. Led by top experts in the field, you'll learn how to sell more houses in less time while creating the life you want. Welcome to the Agent Power Huddle.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, Mindset Monday here on Agent Power Huddle. My name is Susan Johnson and Associates, and I'm happy to be here with you guys this week. It's been a couple weeks since I've been on the show, so I'm happy to be back here. And we're going to be starting and launching your week out, hopefully with high energy, inspiration. And our topic today is very pertinent to what's going on right now in our industry and what we need as real estate agents and brokers, team leaders in this business, and probably every business that's going on right now, which is perseverance. Perseverance is so darn important. And we're going to be doing a deep dive today into how this impacts your business, how it will continue to push you through breakthroughs, continuing to grow your business every step of the way. So I want to start with this quote. And it says, "A journey of 1,000 miles might start with one step, but you still have to take the other 999,999 steps to get there." So the greatest obstacle sometimes of our success can be something called self-doubt. Now, self-doubting yourself while pursuing certain dreams and goals is actually quite natural. It happens because we're getting ourselves uncomfortable. We're doing new things. And again, it's going to take us back to tenacity and perseverance and having a big enough why to continue that drive day after day after day. Hopefully that's going to make sense to you. We all experience some kind of setbacks or misfortunes along the way when we're trying to reach certain goals. And remember, just keep in mind, it's not unusual, okay? You're not different than anybody else by having those feelings. It's just, what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do to overcome that and to continue to persevere? And that's what today's episode is going to be all about. So sit down, get your coffee, take some copious notes, and let's do this together. Let's just, really set up our week to persevere and to continue to grow. And if you're coming on, I'd love for you to log on and turn your, I know we've got people coming on the show still, turn your videos on if you can. There's a lot of people, good morning, great to have you. A lot of people that, go back, like myself. If you miss an episode of this, you can always watch it on a replay. I do it all the time. Unfortunately, I cannot be here to be on every show every morning, Monday through Friday, but I'll tell you, you can go back on YouTube, you can go to our Agent Power Huddle websites, and you can actually watch the replays of these episodes. And there's so much valuable information. We've got rock stars that come on here day after day, pouring out and sharing with all of you, well, all of us, I should say, because I learn from everybody else as well, how to continue to grow our businesses, grow and keep our mindset strong, and today to persevere. So perseverance really is the key to your success, right? You've seen there's an image, I'm sure you've seen it. It's all over a lot of different social media sites and that kind of thing. It's about this gold miner who's in a cave, and you see him, chopping away, with his axe to get to that gold. And he's about this far away from the gold, but he decides to turn around and give up. And he doesn't realize how close he is to actually reaching his goal. You've seen that before? If you have, give me a little thumbs up. I mean, it's so common. Perseverance means to continue relentlessly, especially when something is difficult and tedious, right? Difficult and tedious. And I'm in Krista Mayshore's coaching program, if you know who Krista is. And I'll tell you, we have been doing something called a CMA drop-off, all right? So we're going out, and goodness, I started my career 24 years ago farming, geographic farming, all right? And I built my business on geographic farming. I understand clearly that it is a patience game. It is a game of tenacity. It's a game of persistence. It is a game of do not give up and do not stop. Because the moment you stop, you wasted all that time that you had spent already out there working. So do not give up. Farming. Online lead generation. All right. Some of those leads that come in online, guys, doesn't mean that they're not going to ever buys. Maybe they're not ready right now, right? That's why keeping that funnel coming in, keeping that flow of leads coming in, and keeping that follow-up systems in place to make sure that you don't stop, because it's that time that, that one phone call that you have now connected when the buyer is ready to talk to you or the seller is ready to talk to you, and you are right there, forefront of the mind. I know you've heard this 100 times, but I'm going to keep, embedding it into you. Why that's so important? Perseverance, to not give up. How many no's is it going to take for you to get that one yes? That one yes could be worth $15,000, $20,000 and or more, to your family. And it's just about the money. It's about what it does for your family and what you can do to help the family that said yes to you. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, right? It takes patience. And I'll tell you, if you have studied the DISC behavioral style, patience is, I'm a 99D, 99I, probably like a lot of you are. But anyway, patience is not my virtue. It's really something that I've got to practice at all the time. I want my results yesterday, right? Like many of us, I want those results to show up yesterday. And yet, knowing and understanding and having the skill set to know that, sometimes it's a long game. And sometimes that long game, when practiced regularly with persistence and with precision, because that precision of knowing and having a plan, and we learn a lot of these plans on Agent Power Huddle, okay? Knowing what to do it is really important to stay consistent and being persistent. I got a little bit my notes here because I can go off on all sorts of different things here, but I want to make sure I get out to you all the main points that I want to today on this Agent Power Huddle. So it takes patience, it takes strong determination to actually achieve your goal through that perseverance. Every stage of life, no matter how much success you've achieved, how many goals you've achieved, you're always working for another level. Would you agree with that? Say yes. All right. We're always working for another level to get better, to improve, to try something new, to challenge ourselves. And with that, well, there can be times of doubt. There could be times of, oh my gosh, am I ready for this again? You've been persevering. You're like, gosh, I've been doing this. I've been playing the long game. I'm finally seeing the results. Can I sit back and just relax now? Sorry, the answer to that is no. Why is the answer no? I'm not saying don't enjoy those successes. That's a whole other topic. Celebrating the milestones along the way is absolutely important. That being said, no, you can't just sit back and just stay there. And the reason for that is because you must always continue to have the learning mindset to growth. Our real estate industry is ever changing. I'm sure, again, nod your head, give me a thumbs up, and you know that, and you feel it. It's all around us. Look at the NAR settlement. We're all talking about that right now. Just in the NAR settlement alone, we've had to do what? 24 years in business, you think I should just be on autopilot? And I hope, no. Why? Because of the changes. You've got to shift and change and grow to every level every time we experience these changes. And this, I really want to hammer this home with you. I've got a couple little examples I'll hold up. I'm not the only one. You can reach out to any one of us and we can share ideas with you on how to take that extra little step. I think my last episode I did on 212 degrees, this little book here. If you haven't had a chance, go back and listen to these are only 30 minutes, guys, put them on in your car. Go back and listen to the 212 degrees episode on mindset. 211 degrees, water is hot. 212 degrees, it boils. With boiling water comes the steam, and that steam is what can power a locomotive. Why am I repeating that? Because this NAR settlement is requiring something of us agents, brokers, all of us. What is that? It's increasing your skill set. Now more than ever, this business has become about your skill set. Mindset, of course, is very important, but skill set, you have got to sharpen the blades here. Every one of us, myself included, we all have had to go out and now, everybody on these calls, you guys are all rock stars. You're joining these calls, you're part of a fabulous group. We've had this Agent Power Huddle going for a few years now. We've got thousands of people across the country that join on to these episodes. And so I know if you're committed to listening to these episodes, that you too are very, very good at your skill sets. You're very good. Your mindset's probably very, very strong. Let me ask you this. Is that good enough? Is very good good enough? With the shift and change in our industry, look all over social media. Look at all the, some of the best sites in the, pages in the world where agents share authentically how they're feeling, how they're doing with their businesses. And you see, you see a lot of thriving, which is great. But you also see a lot of people saying, what do they do for their second, for their backup gig? And I don't believe in that. I believe in you make a decision, right? I love the smiles. You make the decision to lean in and dig in and get better. That's my belief system. My belief system is, no, you don't go, oh my God, what do I have to do for a side gig now? No, you get better and you do better and you do more. What does that look like? Okay. By now, if you don't have it, you can reach out to me or anybody. You should be creating something called a seller's guide. If you don't have this, you should have a seller's guide, right? You should have a buyer's guide now. You should be preparing a killer buyer consultation, because August 17th, guess what? If you haven't been doing it already, I'm sure you've heard, we must have those buyer representation agreements signed. Guys, buyer representation agreements were earned. How were they earned? They're earned when you actually consult and you raise your skill set and you meet with a client and you actually show your value. I know you've heard this before. You're going to hear it again. Show your value, your buyer's guide, your seller guide. You actually walk them down the road of how you can legitimately help them, which you can with all the skill set. They need us. They truly do. There's so many things going on and misconceptions. They need us to focus them and help them to understand how we can bring that value, how we can help to negotiate in their best interests so that the buyer doesn't have to hopefully pay your commission, but they're willing to because they see your value. Get me? Having a book is a good idea too. You can get a book. All right? Any of these things shows your value, stepping it up above and beyond what other agents are doing. CMA drop-offs. I've got 500 of these prepared already to go out. They're starting out again today, every week. CMA drop-off in the neighborhoods. Stepping it up. Video. All these things, your skill sets, improving these skill sets, prospecting, marketing, follow-up, lead conversion, video, delivering your value every step of the way, consulting through listing presentations, buyer consultations, and everything I just showed you. Not trying to overwhelm you, planting seeds of ideas and topics that when you watch these agent power huddles, and like I said, I watch them all the time. So you may not take everything I say today, but if I can give you one or two ideas that you go, you know what, I don't have that yet. What is it going to take to implement buyer guide? Since, I need to sharpen up my buyer consultation and bring a tangible item to that buyer that they can now feel like, okay, they've got that warm blanket wrapped around them. They're in great hands now. What is that going to take for me to put together? It's not a lot. There's tons of templates out there. Let us help you with that. Okay. So now is the time to persevere in your growth plan to get better in this ever-changing real estate market and in your life. Okay. Just your growth plan. That's another topic, by the way, I've done in Agent Power Huddle. If you ever want to look back at some of the archived Agent Power Huddle episodes, it's called your growth plan. And the reason I believe in business plan, I also believe a growth plan needs to go in a company with the business plan. How you're going to grow yourself, how you're going to grow your mindset, how you're going to grow your skill sets. Put that along inside with your business plan. All right. So as I mentioned, perseverance when you're I'm going to go with my farming right now. The farming, it's just a long game, guys. It's not something you see results in right away. That's why they call it farming. All right. It's just nurturing the growth. You could go out and you can get results the first time you farm. You might get lucky. Goodness, last week I had 7 sellers raise their hand for market evaluation. That, I mean, they're ready to sell right now, but for a market evaluation. Does that happen every time I go out? No. What last week for some reason, they raised their hand. That's, in the 1 week from just the drop-offs we did. So what's the next step? What takes it out of, they go and they drop off their little, seller box with their seller guys. Okay. You get my point on this. So your plan, your growth plan, your skill set plan, this is the perseverance I'm talking about. What is your plan? Okay. When somebody raises their hand, do you have a funnel? Do you have a video you're going to send to them? Reach out to us, plug in to where you can learn to implement these things. First of all, it's fun, you guys. I mean, perseverance, sometimes you can get, like I said, a little discouraged if things aren't happening now. And yet when you get into another group of people and you start to do some new things, it can actually reignite that flame in your business going, you know what? This is not as monotonous as it was, because I'm trying and doing some new things. And guess what? You're going to get new and better results because of it. Okay, so perseverance itself is a skill set. Would you agree with that? Give me, again, another thumbs up and yes. It is. It keeps us motivated. It keeps us working hard. And it's important to any future success that we have. So when you persevere, you're going to progress. I promise you. You will progress as you continue to persevere. And that progression in itself, remember the milestones. Every step of the way is a win. Every time you continue to move forward is a win. Celebrate those wins. Consider this. When people go out to achieve certain goals in earning a degree, for example, they're going to be taking challenging courses. They're going to be doing difficult assignments. And, if an athlete wants to become the very best version of themselves, they have to continue to work hard. And sometimes they get injured. And sometimes, it's rough, You want to sell X amount of homes in the rest of this 2024, or you're looking at your next 3 to 5 year plan, that's a long game. Just understand it's a long game, but everything you're doing will pay off. Do not underestimate the value of this lesson. Perseverance. I'm telling you, 110%, this will pay off. The ability to remain determined through challenging projects that you're doing, through the tasks you're doing, will also create more and more opportunity for you. It's going to create that trust as well. And everybody around you, when they see your actions are matching your words. Yeah, I'm pausing purposely. We can have all the dreams we want, and dreams are great, everybody. But you've got to have the perseverance within you, the drive to continue, the willingness to get up every day, even if your results haven't shown up quite yet, knowing that it's a long game, but they will show up. Right? That's where their mindset strength is, over the top. That kind of dates me a little bit, but there's a movie called Over the Top. Watch it. It'll inspire you tremendously. So stick out that project that you're doing. Remember the rule of 7 in marketing, by the way. I love this topic. The rule of 7 suggests that you need to see or hear, the consumer needs to see or hear your marketing at least 7 times before they're going to even remember your brand. Yeah, I'm going to repeat that, okay? Rule of 7 suggests that consumer needs to hear or see your marketing at least 7 times before they remember your brand. So if you are just starting to farm, for example, take it a geographic farm, market Facebook ads or whatever you're doing, or whatever you're doing for your advertising, your marketing, and you've been doing it a month or so, and they're going, man, every week I'm out here doing this. Every week. Guess what? Okay, you could share the win. You've done 4 weeks already. You got 3 more, and you got to continue on over the top, right? So 7 times, that's a lot. Most people give up before then. By the way, online lead conversion, listen to some of those topics. You'll hear the same thing. Most agents will make the call 1 or 2 times. I can see it on, when you go into our databases, our CRMs, and you see how many times the lead has been contacted, and you see 2 or 3 times, and then they gave up. Well, guess what? It's going to be more, I believe it's a lot more than 7, if you want to know the truth, on internet leads. I believe it's more about 8 to 12 sometimes, 12 times reaching out. But then You're able to convert. Okay. It's all about, remember, their timing. These are long game. By the way, there's lots of, I think we have some major power huddles too. They're talking about like right now business. You can do a lot of things right now too. The open houses. I'm not going to get into that today. I'm talking about the perseverance that it takes to continue a lot of these long game lead generation, lead conversion, forms of marketing to strengthen our businesses that a lot of us are doing, which are very, very important, which, are, like I said, the farming, the online leads are the two of the top ones that I know I do, or we do. All right. So perseverance really boils down to the drive and resilience you display while completing an objective, irrespective of the challenges that emerge. Or the time it takes. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. By the way, when I mentioned Krista's program, I've been for about almost a year in September, but video was newer for me, and doing the videos actually was not the harder part for me. Hard part for me was a lot of behind the scenes stuff. But either way, learning a program that is honestly, it's like earning an MBA or master's degree in digital marketing. It got me out of my comfort zone. So I got to admit, I have been a little bit slower, but it's okay. You know what? I might be a turtle in that particular arena, but I'm learning, and I've already made a lot of progress. So what is that in your world? You don't compare yourself to other people. Okay, I'm going to repeat that again. Don't compare yourself to other people. What I love, if you get on social media again, you see all the wins. And believe me, I love celebrating people's wins because I'm like, you know what? To me, it just shows it's possible. It's not like, oh my God, I feel bad about myself because they got all the wins. No. Knowing they got the wins makes me know, okay, so it is possible. I'm on the right track. When I do my farming plan, with what we're doing in our program, in our coaching program, these are proven results. They're proven results. So I've seen people do them, I've seen they've gotten great results because they've been doing it way longer than I have, for example. That's motivational to me because I know, you know what? I know I'm on the right track. Results may not show up today, but they will show up. Perseverance, right? All right. So imagine if every time we had a setback, it was just a reason for us to give up. No one would ever achieve their goals if that were the case. The truth is that many people who've succeeded on their journey, they have failed along the way. Us have failed. We failed our way forward. But once you get this perseverance gene in you, or skill set in you, whatever you want to call it, once you have that, everything you do, you'll just realize that, I'm going to fail my way forward. I'm going to continue this perseverance. The failure is not a failure. It's a learning experience. And by the way, I'm not saying doing something over and over again and never getting any progress. Then you may want to look a little bit closer at what your action plan is. I believe in shifting and navigating, right? Navigating your course. If you have to course correct on certain things, if you're putting a lot of things out and not ever getting anybody raising their hands, you might say, well, what's the message? What am I putting out there? What's my call to action? So do you see, you're not stopping, you're persevering and continuing your efforts, but maybe you might need to take a look at what are you putting out there? And if it's not getting any reaction or results, then you might want to reach out again to any one of us, or anybody in your office or your broker or whatever, and say, hey, take a look at this. Put a second set of eyes on there. Is this something you would respond to if you got it on your door or in your mailbox? All right. I'm going to say video again. Some of the best results we're getting right now is, back in the day, 20 plus years ago, when I started farming, it was the just listed, just sold, market update. I still do market updates. Just talked about the CMA drop-offs, but guess what the CMA drop-offs have in them now? Video QR codes. I'll put a thumbnail of a video. How quickly will my home sell? QR code, and they can actually watch my video and then also watch and see the market update. Okay, the video is a great call to action. The QR code, by the way, I would highly suggest that you get something called a dynamic QR code, because from that, anytime somebody scans these, I can find out, who's been on the site. Sometimes they're just watching the video. Other times they're scanning, they want their home value. That's the 7 that raised last week. All right. Again, remember I told you I can go off to a lot of different ideas and challenge, and things like that. I want to get back to the whole idea of the perseverance, because everything we do every day takes that tenacity to continue this growth, to continue our drive to move forward, right? I want to use an example. Michael Jordan is a great example, of perseverance. And of course, everybody should know Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is he's an NBA legend, and he has a quote. And I'm going to read his quote. This quote, it says, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed." That's Michael Jordan's quote. And I just love that quote. Resonate on that. Listen back to it if you need to again. But I'm going to say, I think it's a good segue into another quote that I love, which is called "Standing on the Shoulder of Giants." Standing on the shoulder of giants. And it's kind of a metaphor. It's a quote. What that means is that we can learn from others. We don't have to recreate the wheel all the time. When we're throwing out these ideas, I didn't come up with them, guys. I'm just showing implementation of what I've been implementing in my own business, and what I know thousands of other people are doing as well, have been very successful at it. Why? We've seen people before us. We've stood on the shoulder of giants, and we've said, okay, wow, look at this skill set. Look at this process. And you know what? Look at the results from the process. I think I'm going to implement that. I know I'm going to implement that. And what that teaches us is that it gives us the hope and certainty. Hope. I love the word hope, but I also I prefer the word certainty. Because hope, there's two options. In hope, it's either going to fail or it's going to succeed. Certainty means you cut off that other option. Remember? Lean in. All right, shoulder in, lean in. You cut off that other option. Certainty. Stand on the shoulder of giants. Take the actions that you've seen and have proven results, and take those actions. When you do a plan like that, your perseverance becomes a little bit easier. It's still a long game. Don't get me wrong. Still a long game. But do you think that makes it a little bit easier to bear, knowing that you're implementing ideas and thoughts and action plans that you have seen results in? This is a very important thing to understand. Never underestimate that. So whatever you're doing in your business, it can be some personal goals for yourself, guys. It's not always just about business. Mindset Monday really encompasses everything. And by the way, it doesn't even have to be about real estate. Share this episode with anybody you know, because we all can implement any one of these techniques for anything we're doing. Perseverance is a skill set that should truly be highly, highly valued and respected. You see somebody day after day after day continuing and persevering through whatever actions that they put in place to grow their business or personal lives or get their results that they need. It's something amazing, because most people do give up. I hate to tell you, a majority of people will just stop. Years ago, when I started farming, I was a new agent. I didn't know really. I just listened with blind faith. I didn't even have the results that I'm talking about today. Today, we've got so much data. We can results on all sorts of things. But back in the day, I didn't have that. I can tell you this, though. I was a brand new agent that moved to an area that I didn't have a sphere of influence. And getting into real estate wasn't just like, oh, I think I'll dabble. It was, I have 3 kids, and I had made the decision to start my real estate career. And there was no, well, gosh, what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? There was not, And decision means you cut off all those other options. Get it? Cut them off. So when I started farming, it was because my broker said, get out there every day, go into your farm area. So every morning, roll out in my tennis shoes, which, like, by the way, I'm doing now. I'm doing a lot of the farming myself right now. Get into that. Why? And I do hire people, but honestly, majority of it right now, I'm doing myself. I'll share that in a minute. But what happened, in the farming of the first year was really elongated. It was really frustrating. I almost quit 100 times, but I kept going. By year 2, I started with 500 homes, went to 1,000 homes, went to 1,500 to 2,000 homes over a few years. My business grew very fast over the first couple of years. Okay. Blind faith. I didn't know, but it was, why did that happen? I'm no special, nothing special. I'm no different than what the broker was teaching everybody in the whole brokerage. We had a very large, that was a couple hundred people in that brokerage. What is the difference? Perseverance, consistency. Consistency. Most people would give up. I didn't. I had a big why, my kids. I wasn't going to give up. I also just believed that if I continue, the results will show up. Results will show up. And guess what? I call it like Jiffy Pop. Remember all I hope some of you may not even know what Jiffy Pop is. Okay, think about putting it back in your microwave. But Jiffy Pop is what I would call it. If you shake Jiffy Pop on a hot stove, all of a sudden, after a while, pop, that's a listing, by the way. Shake, 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 pop, pop, pop. And then after a while, it's pop, 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 because that's what happened to my business. Legitimately, it's the best analogy I can give you. Took a little while, took perseverance, took consistency, but with all that, the growth happened. And when it happened big. Okay. So I hope I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to press upon you why you need to find that fire in you, that perseverance, and your big why as to why you're doing it. It will show up. All right. I also want you to remember that perseverance is also a direct result of our habits. Okay. So what was the habit? What is the habit? Even still today, 24 years later. When I'm done here, the dress is gone. The farming gear goes on. I'm heading out into the neighborhoods. Okay. Why am I doing it personally? Yes, I can leverage out. Yeah. And a couple of days a week, sometimes I have some people come help me. What has happened is I decided to get the mindset of exactly what I did when I first started my building of my farm areas years ago. I started walking the farms. I got to know the neighborhoods. I got to meet people along the way. But, I really made me keep my finger on the pulse of the neighborhoods. It got me great exercise, which is, if you're not exercising regularly, now there's a new app called Strava, and I get to watch my progress. I'm walking 5 to 6 miles in a day. My health is better. My energy is better. Are there other things I can do that's probably worth my time and by paying me more hour per hour? Yes, there is. For me, it's just a choice I'm making because overall, like I said, I wanted to get back to the basics. I wanted to get back to what I know. I've built my business, to a very, very high level. And I wanted to take it to another level with all the videos. So everything has changed. And I thought, you know what? This is a great time to do that. Great time to do that. So I'm not saying you have to do that way. I just, I'm somebody who encourages you to know your business, though, inside out. I'm somebody who, if you've not been somebody who's farmed before, that you actually get out there, you do it yourself. So you know that I can tell you right now, I can walk 100 homes in an hour, not a problem. If you hire somebody out and they say it took them 3 hours to hang 100 doors, then they're either on their phone, they're walking slow, anyway, that can, online lead generation, same thing with the calls. After you do your business and if you're starting to become a team leader, you need to know these things. You may not agree with me on that, but I'll tell you, in order to hold somebody else accountable, you really need to know. I hired a virtual assistant last week, and I'll tell you, a lot of things I have her do, I've done myself, so I can tell you I do know it. Same thing with TC. I know everybody believes they should have a TC. I'm one of the people that believes that if you're a brand new agent, you need to do a few files on your own first Get your broker helping you, walk them through, but you need to internalize and know those contracts. You need to service your client, service your clients and explain what these mean to them. Okay? Then you can go ahead and leverage that out. But in the beginning, folks, stop pushing everything off to other people initially. Be better, get better yourself, then leverage it out. Get my point? All right. So the habits. So from this agent power, I want you to examine your daily. I don't even know how we're doing on time. Hopefully we're good on time. Oh, we're a little bit late. We're going to wrap it up. Okay. From this agent power, I just really want you to examine your daily schedule. Examine your habits. Are they supporting your efforts? And are you persevering? And remember, perseverance is going to help you grow and reach your full potential. It's going to enable you to gain more self-confidence, by the way. It's going to turn your failures into learning opportunities. It's going to put you in a greater position to succeed. It's going to create, it's going to create trust around people around you. When they see your actions meet those words, I just lost my voice. It's going to enable you to inspire others as well. It's always great to help other people. If they're struggling, you can help them. You can share ideas just like I did today. Point them in the direction. That's what we're here for. Perseverance, guys, is your key to success. Keep going. I hope this Mindset Monday has launched you off to some great ideas, some high energy, inspiration, and persevere to a great week. I'll see you next time on Agent Power Huddle. And again, reach out to any one of us. We're always willing to help you every step of the way in your business. Thanks for coming in today.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.